All right. Thank you again, Frank, for taking time out of your day to spend with us here at the Spider Success Podcast. I'd love for you to take the opportunity to say who you are and what it is that you do for our student athletes here at the University of Richmond.
Sure. Thank you for having me, RD. My name is Frank Allen. I'm an alum of the university, graduated in 94. I had a career in banking for about 15 years before joining the career services staff at the University of Richmond. And now what I do is I'm the director of a team called Employer Relations within Career Services. We are a 4-person team that works with the organizations that recruit students and alumni for internships and jobs. In short, we're the students' talent agents. Now, not for professional athletes, but
Right.
for virtually every other profession, that's what we do. We go out and we talk to organizations and tell them they need to be hiring our students and get them involved in the activities on campus.
Outstanding. So, what programs can you tell me about that you guys are running and the things that our student athletes need to know about?
Sure. So there's actually 2 different types of programs and events that are going on simultaneously. One is employers are coming to campus and they're providing information sessions, office hours, which are opportunities to meet one-on-one with a recruiter or an alum at that organization. And those are going on throughout the semester. They have already started up for some industries like accounting, and they'll continue to go through September and October. Of course, we also have interviews scheduled with some of those organizations as well. But we also organize quite a few programs to help students learn about, explore different careers, as well as prepare for the internship and job search and interview process. We actually have 27 of those programs offered during the fall semester alone. Not going to talk about every one of those, but there are a couple I'd love to highlight.
Yeah, sure.
We have one called Consulting Networking Night. It's on September 19th. We have around 5 or 6 consulting firms that come to campus, about 1 to 3 representatives from each. They give a short pitch about their organization, and then there's networking. So you get to meet these people, talk to them, learn about the organization and what it takes to get in there. We also have these events called Deconstructing, where it's a half-day event where you learn, go in depth into a specific field. We have one for the healthcare industry on October 22nd. That's a Saturday. So it doesn't conflict with classes, might conflict with some practices or games, but and then Deconstructing Wall Street is on October 15th. And in both of those, we have alumni that come back and work in various careers and fields within those industries to talk to students about what they do and how to break into those areas. And then, of course, we have some road trips to New York, as well as San Francisco that are going to happen over the winter break. And we're going to take students to visit banks, companies that do marketing, communications, PR. Those are all New York. And then the San Francisco trip is based on technology, entrepreneurship, those types of places.
Okay. So how can our student athletes get involved with those various things? How can they sign up for the deconstructing and all the other programs, and how can they get involved with the field trips themselves?
Sure. So first place to start is Handshake. Handshake is a new platform. We used to have one called Spider Connect, and this summer we switched to Handshake. What we've heard so far is that it's a great user experience for the students. So jump in there, acquaint yourself with it. If you have any trouble finding things or using the system, reach out to Career Services, and we have all sorts of different documents to help you navigate it and learn about it, or you can meet with a career advisor and they can help you with it as well. So look on there. We've got most of these are under what are called events. That's where you can find our programs. You can register for them in advance. You can find out where they're taking place, those types of things. The road trips actually require an application. We can't take everybody. There is a lot more demand than we're able to accommodate. And a lot of that has to do with actually how many students each of these organizations can accommodate in one visit. So there is an application process. You want to give yourself plenty of time to complete that so good idea to start looking at what that is now. They're not due now, they're
Mhm.
due later in the semester, but it's good to acquaint yourself with that. And then, other things I would recommend is, use the resources that you have available. So if you haven't met with RD, and RD did not ask me to say this, but try to stop by and see him, schedule an appointment with him. If you're trying to figure out what career you're interested in, or if you think you've figured it out and you want to learn about the recruiting process, schedule an appointment with a career advisor to meet with you and help you out. At the very least, to tell you what the resources and programs we have to help you. And then I would recommend trying to attend some of the programs that we have during the year. One of the other programs that's coming up very soon that I didn't mention already, the career fair. We have career fairs twice a year. It's actually called a job and internship fair because that's what the organizations are there to talk about with students. And we have one coming up next week on September 8th. Please register through Handshake to tell us you're coming. It will be in the Quealy Center. That's the admissions building on campus. And that is from 12 to 4. So please come. And if you can't make it because you have other obligations, please reach out to Career Services and we'll be able to connect you with some of the people that were there.
Right. And so, and you're located in the Quealy Center as well.
That's exactly right. So Career Services is in multiple places across campus, but our two main offices are in the Commons on the 3rd floor. That's where the career advisors are. At least that's where their offices are. They do meet with students across campus, but their main offices are there. And then I'm in the Quealy Center up on the 2nd floor. And that's where we have also our interview rooms. So if you're invited to interview by an organization through Career Services, through Handshake, that's where you'll go to conduct that interview. But students can also reach out in advance if they have a virtual interview set up with an organization and they need a place to conduct that interview that's quiet and free from distraction. You can reserve a room in there if it's available. And there's an online form on the Career Services website for that. If you can't find that, please call Career Services and we'll help you locate that. But that's also another great resource we offer.
Yeah, that's outstanding. Those rooms, like, they're clean, immaculate, very well, very good place to do a in-person interview. And if you're doing a virtual interview as well, get out of your room, don't try and do it on a park bench or something like that.
That's exactly right. I mean, the space was designed to replicate an office atmosphere.
Right.
And we also have a student prep room, where the students can go in if they need to print something last minute, if they need to check themselves in the mirror to make sure everything's looking good. We have that space for them. So it's really set up to help students succeed.
Outstanding. Well, Frank, I think you gave us a ton of great information, and I really appreciate you spending this time with us. And I know our student athletes are going to take full advantage of all the information that you kind of gave us here. Anything else that you want to leave us with at all?
Yeah, actually, one thing that I want to share, I think it's important to student athletes to know is, a lot of organizations want to hire athletes. They know that they are competitive, they're team oriented, and they work hard. They have to juggle a lot as students, and those are the qualities they're looking for their employees, right? So they also know that some of their events or programs they offer aren't during times where student athletes are available to participate, whether it's because of practices, workout sessions, other things like that. Please look, if there's an employer coming that you're specifically interested in and you can't make it, reach out to us and let us know. Quite often, the rep that's here on campus might be available before or after and is willing to meet with the student. And if not, at the very least, we could share their contact information and they'll find a time to connect at a later date. So please don't look at what's on Handshake or a calendar and say, oh, I can't make that. It's not for me. I'm out. If you are very interested in what's going on there, let us know. We'll try to work with you to see if we can have someone meet with you, or if it's one of our programs, share the presentations if we have them, or contact information of the alumni that participated.
That's great. That's great to know. I'm glad you verbalized that, very much so. And thank you. Like I said, I appreciate it, and our student athletes appreciate it as well. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you, RD. You
All
too.
right.